Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here to celebrate the official start of summer by counting down 13 of the greatest summertime horror movies ever. We are talking killer sharks, we are talking machete-wielding maniacs, we are talking possessed cabins, and even a demonic beach. That's right, a demonic beach, because nothing says summertime like slashers and a rising teenage body count. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right, my horror-loving brothers and sisters, it is Memorial Day weekend, which means two things. One, it is the official start of summer, and two, it is hotter than a satanic sauna out here in Georgia already, which also means it is the perfect time to bust out the bug spray, grab a six-pack, something nice and cold, and count down these 13 top summer horror movie flicks with me. These are the best that are ever unleashed, some of my favorites. Let's jump right into the list. Coming in at number 13, we have one going back to 1980, and maybe not the one you're thinking of from 80. No, we have Blood Beach. That's right, we got some killer sand coming in, and this one is for the people who say, you know what, I love the beach, but I just hate people. I hate sand. I hate joy in general. This one is set in Santa Monica, California, a beautiful place with a beautiful, iconic beach. And this flick's tagline literally says it all. You know, just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water, you can't get to it. So you actually have people getting sucked into the sand by some underground monster that looks kind of like a hairy, man-eating slinky. The movie is kind of slow. Overall, it has an iconic poster. It's kind of weird, but hey, it does have Burt Young from Rocky being very cranky, which just kind of seems like Burt Young being Burt Young, to be fair. But it is a sand-based, beach-based horror. For that reason alone, it has to land on our list. Blood Beach comes in at number 13. Now, at number 12 on our list, we go to 1981 for some summer camp vibes with 1981's The Burning. So, this one was actually banned in 5 countries, believe it or not, and it launched the careers of Jason Alexander and a whole lot of Tom Savini splatter in this. You've got Cropsy, a burned-up ex-camp caretaker turned garden shear, swinging, maniac stalking, horny teens on a canoe trip. You definitely got some Friday the 13th vibes going on here. You've also got some skinny dipping, some throat slashing, some panty peeping, and the legendary raft massacre in this. And it's kind of like Friday the 13th's shady cousin from New Jersey, I guess. But Savini's effects are very, very prominent in this. Super goo-rific in here. Very juicy coming from Savini. And kind of to the level where a barf bag might not be out of the question. This one's a bit underrated. It kind of gets lost in the Friday the 13th shuffles. But The Burning comes in at number 12 on this list. Now, at number 11 on this list, we have one that is one of my all-time favorite horror movies, one of my all-time favorite movies, regardless of genre, because you've got vampires on motorcycles in Santa Carla, California, a town that is so full of bloodsuckers, it's kind of like a lunch in Hollywood. But we are talking about The Lost Boys. Now, this one is directed by Joel Schumacher, a legend, back when, you know, we still had leather jackets and that whole, I mean, this thing is so 80s all the way. It gave us the iconic oiled up saxophone player that no one was asking for. You've got the Frog Brothers in here. So that's Corey Feldman is one of those. You also have Corey Haim. So you have two of the Coreys in here. You've got Kiefer Sutherland in this movie playing a badass rock and roll vampire. You've got Jason Patrick with basically a mullet and an earring, rocking ass in this. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim doing Corey things. Death by stereo. They even talk about summertime and summer coming to an end in this movie. You've got the beach. You've got the ocean waves, seaside town. This is awesome 80s and awesome summer vibes to the max. We are talking The Lost Boys. It comes in at number 11. Now, at number 10 on this list is a bit newer one. This one is from 2012, but I think it definitely fits on this list. I am talking about The Cabin in the Woods. So you have a whole summer vacation movie right here. They are going to the cabin in the woods for a summer vacation. This is a very iconic start to horror film. We've seen this all before. And that is the joke. You have seen everything in this movie before, and it's going to be explained to you in a very cool kind of way. You have 5 kids, college kids, including Chris Hemsworth. Thor himself is in here. They head to this cabin in the woods, and they start dying off one by one because guess what? Evil Dead style, they read something out loud. Never do that in horror movies. Never do that. And then we find out that this movie is going to explain all of those summertime horror movie tropes, every horror movie trope. We're going to have a real legitimate reason why all of those exist and become tropes that we know so well to the point of their cliches. Cliches come from somewhere. This movie is going to seek to explain that to you. It's going to bring in shady government conspiracies. It's going to bring in killer unicorns, zombie mermen, zombies, Sigourney Weaver, all kinds of monsters, including werewolves and a giant snake. Yes, you have it all here, including the old gods making an appearance. Cabin in the woods, lots of swimming summer vibes before things start to come apart. I believe it fits perfectly on this list. It comes in at number 10. Now, at number 9 on this list, we have one that's even newer. This one is from 2015, and it is called The Final Girls, which is a perfect name for a horror movie. This one's got some heart to it, some humor, and some decapitations. You have a group of teens that get sucked into an 80s slasher movie. I'm an 80s slasher movie guy, an 80s movie guy, an 80s horror movie guy. So getting pulled into an 80s horror movie sounds kind of cool, except for then everything gets super real fast, and they have to use what they know about horror movies and surviving horror movies or dying in horror movies in order to try to survive and get out of this mess. It also has a nice little mother-daughter plot line that, you know, gives you all the feels. And then it's got its machetes. It's very meta. It's funny. It's got some good heart to it. Like I said, the killer wears a welding mask in this one. So maybe that inspired In a Violent Nature. Who knows? But if you've ever really had yourself hit in the feels in a slasher movie, it might be this one. The Final Girls, because it brings you into all of those tropes, all those cliches, into a summertime vibes horror movie. It is a summertime vibes horror movie itself, and one that is very well done with a good cast. It comes in at number 9 on this list. Now, at number 8 on this list is one that I am sure you are waiting for, and you might expect to be higher. But right here at number 8, I'm going to go with 1983's Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil the twist ending to this one, even though you can't call it a spoiler at this point. The movie has been around so long, but this is one of those that if you know what I'm talking about here. This one, other than that, though, man, it has some classic bad 80s horror movie action, really bad 80s fashion, because there was some fun 80s fashion, and then there was what was going on here. It also has a lot of the short shorts that most of that you're ever going to see in an 80s movie. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Angela is the quiet girl at camp. She's dealing with bullies, creeps, counselors that probably should not be there. Maybe they should even be arrested. We've got all kinds of stuff in here. You've got like beehive attacks, boiling water kills, and again, the most kind of jaw-dropping moment finale in horror history. It's just kind of way up there at the top. But it has all of those camp vibes, your camp counselors, your campers, your bunk beds. All of that stuff can be found in Sleepaway Camp, including that ending again. And for all of those reasons, it comes in at number 8 on this list. Now at number 7 on this list, you knew at least one of these had to be here. And I'm going with one of my all-time favorites. I am talking Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Spoiler alert, it's obviously not the final chapter, but in this one, Jason comes back once again, and he's a bit bigger, beefier, badder, and meaner than ever. And he's kind of getting creative with his killing in this, but he's not the only one who's creative in this one. You got Tom Savini back in here. He does the gore effects, all of the makeup effects in this, and he puts a bit of himself in here. And you see that in a young Corey Feldman, who's kind of like a monster mask making prodigy. A little Tom Savini is really what he is. You also got Crispin Glover in here dancing like an absolute idiot in this movie. But I think overall, this one has some of the best, like, likable cast and memorable cast. Of course, Corey Feldman is going to up that a little bit. You got bodies flying all over here. You got the Doublemint twins rocking in here. I'm telling my age with that one. This one is brutal. It's bloody. It's maybe the best of the franchise to a lot of people. I got a couple of others that I would put above it, but it has all of your Camp Crystal Lake, summer camp, party vibes. I always watch the Friday the 13th movies every summertime. This is one of my favorites. It had to make the list. It comes in at number 7. Now, at number 6 on the list is a classic that you might not be thinking of. I am talking about 1987's Creepshow 2. Now, Creepshow 1 rightfully gets a lot of play. It gets a lot of love. I myself was inspired by it making a film. But Creepshow 2 might be the one that I watched the most growing up. And in this one, you have 3 tales of terror that all really kind of take place in the summer. You have the wooden Indian chief, old Chief Woodenhead, with a bad vendetta and exacting some revenge. And you have a hitchhiker who will not stay dead. Hey, thanks for the ride, lady. But the one that gets me every time, the one that lands it on this list, one of my favorite anthology segments ever, is The Raft. Now, this thing is like a killer oil slick that became a living, breathing, man-eating blob floating across the water. This is the one. You've got your teenagers out there swimming where they shouldn't be. The sign says no swimming. And they go out to this little kind of island thing, this kind of deck in the middle of the water, and they are going to fool around horror movie style, summer style. And guess what? Here comes the floating evil oil slick from hell. The gooey raft sequence in this movie, the effects here are just chef's kiss with some slime. It is one of my favorite horror segments ever in an anthology, and it has all the summer vibes that you want right here in this movie. The car, the clothes, the swimming, the inappropriately timed liaisons. It's all here. For that reason, Creepshow 2, a classic, comes in at number 6. Now, at number 5 on the list is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. It is probably my favorite zombie movie ever. I am talking about 1985's Return of the Living Dead. Now, this one literally says it's summertime. It starts off, it's summertime in Kentucky. This takes place around the 4th of July. The only problem that's going to ruin the summer for Trash and all of her friends is that the dead are rising from the grave because of a leak from toxic gas canisters. You're going to get one of my favorite zombies, one of my favorite creature effects of all time, the Tar Man in here. So you end up with some punk rock zombies. You end up with Linnea Quigley dancing naked in the middle of a graveyard. This movie is the one that taught us that zombies eat brains. Believe it or not, that comes from this movie. And we also learned that calling the cops never helps because they're just going to bring more brains. When you factor all that in, the camp, the fun, the horror, the kills, and the killer soundtrack with this that absolutely shreds, Return of the Living Dead is kind of horror comedy perfection, set in the summertime with all of those party vibes. Just the setting alone tells you at the beginning, it's summertime. That's all I need. Return of the Living Dead has to come in on this list. It checks in at number 5. Now, number 4 on this list is a made-for-TV miniseries, a movie that you might not be expecting, but one that I identify with summer every single year. I am talking about Except No Substitutes, the original 1990 It from Stephen King. This is like, you ever spend summer with, your friends fighting a sewer clown from hell? Just them then? Okay. Well, the Losers Club does that, and Tim Curry's Pennywise is part of the whole reason that a generation of kids fear clowns, red balloons, and storm drains. This was my son's first horror movie. It has a lot of scared and dead kids. It's like an old version of a Grimm's fairy tale, but over this summertime, summer is very important because it has the freedom for these kids to hang out together, to bond together, and to fight against the evil and find the strength that's in them. Summertime is very important to this plot. If you read the book, goes along with the movie, you will see it. I associate it with summer every single year. Part 1, the first half of this is more of where you want to find your sweet spot for all the summer vibes before turning into adult runs, ruins everything and runs out all of the summer vibes. They are all present at the beginning of this movie, and they are very important. For that reason, I identify this with summertime. One of my favorites ever. It, a great summertime watch, comes in at number 4 on this list. Now, at number 3 on this list is one that is absolutely iconic. It was released during the summer going into my senior year, or right after my senior year of high school. So I was right here with them. And to this day, I still know what you did last summer. Nothing screams summer more than a horror movie that has summer right there in the title. It's right there. And guess what? This one's coming back with a sequel with the original living cast, because nothing screams summer fun like, accidentally killing a guy, then being stalked by a hook-handed fisherman that looks like the Morton's guy with the fish sticks. I mean, that's what I always thought of with this killer. It's another version of the Hookman story, but this one involves Freddie Prinze Jr. and Ryan Phillippe. Yay, cool. This one also involves, more importantly, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Sarah Michelle Gellar at the height of their powers. Beautiful across the screen. It's slick. It is glossy. It's pretty gory, surprisingly, but it is a damn good time and a fun summertime watch. A nice 4K here, another 4K steelbook coming, and a sequel coming with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. And who knows what other surprises. This one has to be on the list. It's right there in the name. I Know What You Did Last Summer checks in at number 3 on this list. All right, at number 2 on this list, you knew this one had to be coming, but you might have expected it to be number 1. And though it's one of my all-time favorite movies, it's going to check in for number 2. I am talking about Jaws. This is the OG summer scare. This created the term really summer blockbuster. Steven Spielberg turned a malfunctioning mechanical shark and some John Williams music into the reason people not only didn't want to go into the ocean, they were checking their swimming pools for sharks. I know I did that as a kid. It just gave you those creep vibes that none. And what you don't see, it was a masterclass in how things can fall apart and create something better than you could have imagined. It's got shark attacks, corrupt mayors, beach panic, a monologue about the USS Indianapolis that was written by John Milius and performed completely drunk in the scene that was incredible. That scene alone will haunt you. It's scary because there's truth there. It's a masterpiece, plain and simple. And Bruce the Shark, who is what they called him, he deserves his own star on the Walk of Fame. I do not care. Smile, you son of a bitch. Jaws comes in at number 2 on our summertime horror list, an absolute icon of the genre. And that just leaves number 1. And I went back and forth about this because this is maybe not my favorite movie in the franchise, definitely not. But it is the one that started a lot of the summer horror as we know it. It gave us the foundation for camp horror movies, summer horror movies. It spawned countless sequels. It's going to have its own universe. There is no question it is Friday the 13th, the original from 1980, rocking in at number 1 on our list. It had to be there. Friday the 13th is literally the movie that launched 1,000 campfire summertime horror tales. It set the basis for a lot of things. You've got your horny counselors, you got your killer POV shots, you've got a twist ending in this one as well, because spoiler alert, if you don't know this, Jason's not the killer in here. He is definitely not. It ain't Jason with his hockey mask yet. It's Mama Voorhees. Obviously, sorry if I spoiled this for you. Shame on you if you haven't seen it. But this is the one that started it all. This is the icon of summertime horror movies, of kids skinny dipping, drinking, partying, getting naked at the wrong time, and getting punished by Jason for it because it was his birthday. Friday the 13th, littered with the worst summer counselors ever in camp history, but except no imitations. The original is still an icon, even though maybe not my favorite. Maybe I like 2009 the best. I'm just going to say it. But you have to respect the legend that kicked off this genre. It is the icon. It is number 1 on my list. So there you have it. Summer horror flicks that I guarantee will make you sweat, scream, maybe cancel your beach trip. Definitely cancel that camping trip to the woods. We don't do that around here anyway. I mean, snakes, forget the slashers. But whether it is a killer in the woods like Jason, a monster in the lake, a clown in your gutter, summer ain't safe, folks. So just, keep the lights on, stay inside in the air conditioning, have some cold beer, let that body count rise outside, and, play it safe by watching some good, scary horror movies this summer. And that's what I got for you this time. If you enjoyed this list, please like and subscribe. We have a lot of fun here. We do all kinds of things: lists, rankings, 4K reviews, recommendations videos, physical media news. We do it all from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. I'm a horror filmmaker, have been for a couple of decades, and I love talking movies and sharing my recommendations with you. If that sounds like something you'd like to support, you can also join the channel. The link is below to become a YouTube channel member. You can join my Patreon below. That's where I would push you because I can do all these videos in their uncensored versions over there, and you can have a real summertime party. But no matter where you join at, you're going to get your name in lights here on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, and so much more. And I really do appreciate it. It will make my summer and every day that much better. And I do thank you all. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture. And I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.